Hey guys, how y'all doing? The Weirdable here, playing me some Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is the closed beta, and it started on Friday, and I believe it finishes on Monday. But I'm pretty sure they'll extend it because these, in quotation marks, closed betas or betas are kind of just glorified demos, and also I'm pretty sure it's going to become an open beta at some point, so everyone gets to play it, so they can just stress test the servers and whatnot. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried if you hadn't signed up to play it because I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out and be an open beta or a glorified demo at some point. So yeah, anyway, let's sort of crack on to what I thought of the game. I mean, I've only played it for about a couple of hours now, and to be honest with you, I'm just going to say it, my first initial thoughts were it's not great. Even though this is a beta, even I don't really feel like there's going to be any massive changes. I mean, because it's not really little things; it's more the whole gameplay experience as a whole isn't great. Now, I know that may sound slightly disappointing to some people who have been waiting for this game for a while and really wanted it to be a success. And having said that, I mean, the only way you're going to actually know if it's for you is if you play it, that's why I'm hoping there's going to be an open beta or a demo that you guys can play and sort of find out for yourself. The biggest there are a couple of things which I hope they can maybe fix to make it slightly better. But first of all, as you see here, I'm looking over the shoulder. For some reason, I can't find a button to click to make it like on most third-person games that you play. You can make the over-the-shoulder camera go from like be on the left or the right side. And for some reason, there's no option that I could find to switch from one shoulder to the other. And that really frustrated me that I couldn't choose which shoulder it was on. Now, I think that's because they're trying to make you play. Because if you see here, you can basically. I actually went into the options and changed it slightly. Because on when you initially start, the option is basically when you hold. I'm playing on PS4 by the way. When you hold down L2. It goes straight into first person view and then you can shoot, whereas I kind of like it where it zooms sort of straight down the barrel, but then when you click it goes into first person view. Like you click on R3 and then it goes into first person, so because it's kind of a bit quicker if you just sort of aiming slightly and then click to sort of go for a more of an accurate kind of look. I prefer that personally, and it was nice that I could actually change that in the options. But yeah, nowhere I could find that I could move from left to right shoulder. That's very frustrating. Another little thing that I wish they would change. These are kind of like the little things. There's a sort of slightly bigger thing that they need to work on, but in a minute that I'll talk about. But I don't know if you can hear in the background. Mostly, almost 90% of the time, you can hear a radio playing. Now, I don't know. It's not that prevalent in this section, but I mean, you saw in the tent earlier when I was up on the looking around in the tent bit before I came down to this section. There's a radio playing, and it's constantly playing. And I know why they put in radios in the game, because it's kind of like in Far Cry, where they have the radio. I think it was Far Cry. I can't remember what it's called, but it was called, basically it was like Far Cry 3 or 4 or whichever the one was where you're in the Himalayas in the mountains basically, and they had the radio, and I know why they do it is because it tries to make you feel like you're in a world that's living and things are happening around you that you can't necessarily see, but you can hear about them, and this guy on the radio is telling you about them, and it's kind of the same in this, but I personally feel it's really taking out the experience of being on your own in the wildlands. It's kind of taking that experience away from you, I think, and I really think that's not great. And to be honest with you, there is a level. I won't show it in this video, but I might put it up later just as an extra clip or something. But there's a level where you go into a town. It's not. I mean, it's a pretty big town. Well, it's not that big to be fair. But anyway, you go in there and the radio's just playing everywhere, and every time you get in the car, it's playing, and it's just so frustrating. All I want to hear is pretty much nothing. Maybe some of the birds, the wildlife. That's it really. Fair enough if maybe you go into a more built-up area and stuff like that, but it seems to be a very constant thing. So now onto a slightly bigger kind of or more important feature of the game, which I don't believe really works that well, is the AI that you play with. Now, I don't know how many of you played the original SOCOM back on PS2, but I'm pretty sure the AI on that was actually pretty damn good. Like, you give them orders and they did it, sort of thing. I thought it was pretty good. But actually, even on which again is sort of a Ubisoft game, even on the Rainbow Six, like back in, I think it was Rainbow Six Vegas, the AI was better on that than on this. I mean, this is just, it's awful. Like, there's essentially, all I can find is, it's basically, there's no, they try to make it tactical and stuff, but it's not really. It's more like a second thought. They thought, oh, what if some people, have to play offline, or they don't have any friends to play with, or they don't want to play with friends, so they thought, oh, we'll just chuck in this AI that's rubbish. Basically, essentially, there's two options that I found. It was, you either they fire and they're shooting at people and they're engaging targets, or you just tell them to wait somewhere. Because if you get them to follow you, which I found, they do the most stupid things, and they basically alert the enemy team. So if you're trying to do this all sneaky and stuff, which that's another thing I'll get onto in a minute, if you're trying to do it all sneaky and they're like just around you, they're not hiding very well, the enemy see them, and then you're going loud, and there's no point trying to do it sneaky. So what I found myself doing, which is, you can see me here on this motocross bike, which actually I have to say was pretty fun driving around on. I just told them to wait somewhere, and then I'd do it myself. So from just playing on this short time and playing with the AI, I highly recommend to try and play with friends, or just random people in the public, which you can do. It will say, do you want to play with, find a matchmaking type thing and play with other players, which from what I can see, it's basically made to do that. The AI seemed like a second thought. It doesn't seem like it's been thrown together very well, which is disappointing because, we're in 2017 now, for God's sakes. I mean, the AI has been done. It's been done to death with these kind of games since, back in the PS3, even the PS2, like I said, on SOCOM. So there's no excuse for it, really. So anyway, going on to another thing. Some of you may be pleased to hear this, but the map size is actually quite huge. It's very big. But personally, I don't think this is a good thing. It's the way it plays and feels. I find it more of a nuisance, to be honest with you, because you're driving to I think, well, you can actually fast travel, but it's just such a long way to get to these sort of not very interesting locations, to be honest with you. It's a very flat, open world. I mean, yeah, there are mountains and stuff, but in terms of detail, there isn't a lot of detail, and it's pretty boring, to be honest with you. If you look at something like The Division, which it was set in the city, and I think that's 10 times more interesting than this game. Even though maybe the map is a bit smaller, it's so much more interesting. I think quality over quantity any day, and this game kind of proves that it's gone for quantity and not great quality, to be honest with you. So, I mean, it's not looking good at the moment. There's a few things I don't like about this game, which you can tell. The next thing which I really dislike is, this is supposed to be Ghost Recon. It's supposed to be pretty tactical, pretty stealthy, all that kind of good stuff. And it really isn't like that at all. It's basically very much a Division game reskinned, essentially, because as far as I could see, you don't get any reward for doing it stealthy. Like, I did the missions because I died or whatnot. Actually, you'll see here in a minute that I actually end up shooting the hostage by accident, because for some reason you can shoot through the walls, which is pretty cool, I guess, but not very helpful. Yeah, there's no reward for doing it stealthy, which is crazy, because this is Ghost Recon. It's supposed to be ghosts. You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to do things stealthy, but you just don't get any reward for it. So you might as well just go in all guns blazing, tell your AI teammates to just shoot everyone, and then capture the person or whatever the mission is. And to be honest, that's another thing that I'm slightly worried about, is the actual mission types. I think there's going to be a lot of similar missions where you're just going somewhere, rescuing someone, destroying something, picking something up. It's been done, to be honest. It's been done to death, like those kind of missions, and the story is like non-existent for me, and I don't really care for the characters, so there isn't anything really driving me to do it, to do the missions, and it's and the gameplay itself isn't fun enough to keep me engaged, which is very disappointing. And I mean, I don't know how else they would have really have done it. I suppose I wouldn't have tried to do a game like this in the first place. I think it's a very ambitious idea that they had, and I think it's a great idea. But it kind of feels like they thought, oh look, the Division kind of worked, so maybe like all these other gaming companies, they seem to make one game, then they just reskin it and try and put it in a different environment, and they think that's just going to work. I don't think it has personally. Which is a real shame. But to be honest with you, out of playing this, it has actually made me want to go back on the Division and give that another go. Because you realise how, even though there were some problems at the beginning and people thought there was some balancing issues and whatnot and all this kind of stuff, but when you actually play this, you realise how good the Division actually is, and you think, maybe I should actually give that game another try, because yeah, it's actually pretty good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know there was a lot of doom and gloom because it's about the game and not really living up to my personal expectations. This is obviously just my opinion. Definitely go and not say buy it, but definitely if there is an open beta, download it and just see for yourselves and see what you think. I mean, you may like it. You may be in that type of mood where you want to play an open game and you just want to go and shoot terrorists or the drug cartel and things like that. So you may really like it. It's just my opinion. But if you did like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Because I really enjoy doing this, and it helps me out a lot if I see that people like the video or people subscribe. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.